the street, a hole in the chest. Yes.
I don't know if y'all can hear that, but there y'all go. Let me see if it's appropriate. Um, God damn. Okay, so all right. Okay, putting that down. All right, cool. Putting it down a little bit. So y'all could. All right, cool. All right. Okay, cool. Okay, we can watch it. Okay, yo, what up? It's your boy, Radical. So without further ado, I want to give a huge shout out to everybody watching me right now. A huge shout out to everybody up in the chats. I'm gonna be waiting for people to come in and all of that stuff, and all that good stuff. You know what I mean? I'm gonna wait. But before we start, I want to get something out the way. Bahari Moon or Original Moon. I think she changed her name or whatever the case is. She put up this. She put up this post. It was a little spicy. It was a little spicy. I don't know why, but okay. She put up this post, and it said, "At Radical Latino, right? I'm glad I inspired you to have, and I inspired you and have been inspiring you for some time now. The least you can do is give someone some, give me some credit for my intellectual property." So what she was referring to is that she also covered this situation as well. Covering stories is not somebody's intellectual property. I just want to get that out the way. Anybody could cover a story. Okay, it's not copyright to cover the same story or whatever. This is not no beef to Moon whatsoever. Shout out to her. She seems like maybe she got offended by it. I don't have an ego big enough not to give shout outs. If I'm gonna give somebody a shout out, I'm gonna give somebody a shout out. If I get something from somebody, or if I get inspiration from something like this, like the topic that we're gonna speak about, I'm gonna definitely give a shout out if that's where I got it from. Now, I didn't know nothing about this. The reason why it came to my attention, one, you tagged me in it, and two, people send me it. The same people that sent me this article. I didn't know nothing about this article until I got sent into my DM. I'm a content creator. People send you stuff. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you should do this, you should do that, or whatever the case is. Again, this is not no beef towards her. This is just a correction. I don't want people to, he's talking stuff. No, I'm not. I'm a married man. I'm a family guy. About to start a family. You're already there. There's no reason to have no animosity or beef or whatever the case is. I just wanted to put that out there. It wasn't like that. You came off a little spicy. You should just chill out. But there was no reason for you to say whatever you had to say about that. Second of all, again, there's no reason for me not to give no shout outs to anybody. Funny enough, because she did tag me in it. I watched her video, and a lot of what she said I pretty much agree with. And a lot of what she said you're probably going to hear me say, because I agree with what she's talking about, and I agree with what she is stating on her video. And I did watch her video, and actually I even saw her YouTube channel. I didn't know she was still doing her thing. I even subscribed again. And to be honest with you, it seems like Moon is doing a better job than I am tackling and talking about Latino topics. Shout out to her. I was, dabbling in it and then doing other things, then dabbling in it and then doing other things. She's like straight on it. Shout out to her. But she did bring up a good point. She did bring up a good reference, because this is the same thing that I'm going to talk about today. The same thing that I'm going to refer to today is that the media has a lot to do with it. I'm going to give Latinos, I'm going to give us self-responsibility. I'm going to give us maybe a 25% self-responsibility. But the majority of it, I'm going to put it to the media, because let's be honest, the media does like black trauma. That's what they go for. Black trauma, black trauma, black trauma. That's what sells. This is true. You get black Americans or black folks in general riled up, you get a story for 2 months. And you can milk that. You know what I'm saying? The black trauma sells. Unfortunately, Latino trauma doesn't sell so much. It sells a little bit, but not so much. It's not as fiery as black trauma. This is something that we got to be honest about. For example, the whole Jordan Neely thing. I've been very quiet. I didn't even say nothing about it. I only went to my Twitter to even speak about it, and I was very honest about it. I did not see that situation as something racist, and I'm going to definitely I'm going to stand on my square and say that what happened to Jordan Neely, I did not see that as racist. I didn't see what the white guy did as racist. Now, was he meant to kill him? No, I don't think he should have killed him. He should go to jail for killing someone. He took someone's life, regardless of what was happening. He took someone's life. No, you know what I'm saying? But I'm going to use common sense also. I was seeing people not trying to help Jordan Neely get off that guy. No, they were also helping to restrain him because something must have happened. And based on witnesses, they were saying that he was threatening people. I guess the white dude felt some type of way. He said, let me try to, restrain the threat. And he did what he did. But I did not see that situation as racist. I saw that situation as, first of all, one, somebody that doesn't know what the hell they're doing. If you want to restrain somebody, there's plenty of ways you can restrain them. You know what I'm saying? And two, he should definitely go to jail for killing someone. Come on now. You know what I'm saying? You didn't wait. Don't tell me he woke up one day and just say, hey, I'm going to just kill somebody black. No. You know what I'm saying? But obviously he didn't know what he was doing. But I just want to get that out the way as an example of what I'm going to be talking about today. So I just want to get that out the way. I'm going to wait for the people to come in. So this is my official response to Moon. I have no animosity towards you. There's no beef. We can disagree on ideologies and whatever the case is. That doesn't mean that I don't like you or whatever the case is. So let me just put that out the way. And if I do, since I'm subscribed now, if I do see something that you inspire me about, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna make a video on it. Best believe people are gonna know that I got it from you. Okay, so that's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna be an asshole with it too. I'm gonna put Bahari Moon all over the place. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I'll probably come in on camera with a wig on and all that. You know what I'm saying? No, but I just wanted to let y'all know that's it. That is so Moon. Shout out to you. So I'm waiting for a couple of people to come in because I did send them the link. But let's talk about the situation. So based on this article, Moran says, "Oh man, wait, what happened? What do you mean, oh man? What I do? What I do? What happened? Don't be all man me. Hold on, what I do? What I do? Send the link. I already sent the link to everybody on IG, man. Yeah, I sent the link to everybody on IG. I think, right? Give more credit. Give more credit. I will next time if she inspires me on something. Don't worry about it. She said the wig with the wig stuff. Okay. All right. What was it? I'm gonna just stay in the comment section and learn. I don't know anything about this topic. Nobody knows anything about this topic. We're gonna learn together. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna learn juntos. You feel me? We're gonna learn together. So let me just bring this up real quick. So let me bring this article up real quick. You know what I mean? What people say, they didn't get the link? For real? Oh man, come on. Then I'm gonna have to put it up in the. All right, man. I'm putting it up in the chat. I guess people didn't get the link. It is what it is. Hold on, let me try to pin it. Let me see if I can try to pin it. Wait a minute. Hold up. We got one people. Yo.
What's going on? What's going on, Brad?
What's going on, bro?
Hey, I appreciate you letting me up.
Yeah. Not a problem. We're gonna read our article together and we're gonna discuss it. Okay.
Sure thing.
Because I know a lot of people are not aware of this. I became aware of this very recently. You know what I'm saying? But I just want to just make the people make the people aware of what's going on to the Latino community. Oh my God, to the Latino community. Oh wait, I got Truth, and I got Jose. What's going on, guys? What's up?
Yo, what's up? What's up?
What's going on?
Good evening, guys. Thank you very much.
Good
thank
evening.
you very much for allowing me on my platform. I'm not going to be able to stay through the entire stream because I have a stream coming up at 10 o'clock. But I do have some information, that I came up just today regarding this topic.
Yeah. Oh, what information you want to share?
Okay. Actually, what I did was I Googled the topic. Okay.
Okay.
Now, this is what I read. This is from the Journal of Community Health. And according to the information, 26 for 100,000 residents were killed by police in 2020. Researchers found that the mortality rate. So basically, in other words, for every 100,000 residents in this country, 0.26.
You're basically
also,
repeating. Jose, you're repeating the same thing that we're gonna go. God damn, Truth, shit. Yeah. Anyway, no goddamn fucking no stream etiquette. Yeah, I know. Jose, you're repeating the same thing that's gonna be part of the article.
Okay. Well, the reason why I wanted to share this information is because your haters are going to attack you for being, for crying about us Latinos. So I just wanted to make sure that this is not a radical thing. This is still straight facts.
Yeah, it says it, bro. It says it right here. I think. Hold on, let me boop. Yeah, it says it right here. 26 per 1,000 residents in 2020 went up. Latinos killed by law enforcement. Yeah. We're gonna break it down and talk about it. You heard, Jose? Okay, cool.
No problem.
And best believe I'm gonna end this so people go to your stream. All right. What are you gonna be?
Thank you.
What are you gonna be talking about? How to
Can a leopard change his spots? Basically, in other words, can people change their behavior?
Oh shit. That's what's popping in the old folks' home. No, I'm just playing. All right. I got you, bro. I got you, bro.
You wish you that's wrong.
You wish you put at 60.
I got you, bro. But anyway, let's get into this whole article, right? So, just by
wait. Before we do that, Radical, did you got Sneako's background on a discount when he got canceled from YouTube?
The what?
I see that you bought Sneako's background when he got kicked out of YouTube. You were there. You asked him for it. You're like, oh, I want it.
You shut up. Shut the fuck up.
and let me tell you something. I never would have thought that Saggy Moon was your muse.
Well,
isn't that cute?
I really don't have issues with her. Me and her have different ideologies, obviously, but hey, I really don't got problems with her. She's a married woman. I could care less. I'm fucking 35. I'm not going out here pissed off of other people from YouTube. All right, it's not that serious.
Saggy Moon thinks that she's your muse.
Okay, well, I guess.
Good evening, Denise.
Hey, Jose bendición.
Hey, Denise.
Que Dios te bendiga.
Hey.
Bro, you got beef with that girl? I don't know.
No, I don't. And that's Radical's muse. I'm just pointing out that that's Radical's inspiration.
No.
If Radical was a musician, she'll be the reason he'll be writing music. You get my point?
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Oh.
I want to give. First of all, I want to give a huge shout out to Anthony, his mansion. He finally got it.
Looks
Shout out
good.
to him.
Hey, look
Look
good,
at
man.
him.
Look
He
good,
finally
man.
named.
Hey, we
Shout out,
made it.
shout out,
Yeah.
He's on
shout out to
he's
him.
on that. Look, he's on that privilege card that people
Shout
say.
out
we
to
have.
him.
Yo, I
Shout
just
out to him.
took my camera off. I was like, let me try to find a better background. I gotta compete.
You see what light skinned people be doing. You know what I'm saying?
Our privilege.
What they be
You
doing?
can have
Oh,
this-
light
Damn, that's
privilege.
crazy, yo.
You can have
Light
this
skin
too, you know?
privilege. Light
Find
skin
you a
privilege.
white
That's
woman,
crazy.
you know.
Oh man.
You know, 18th letter looking for one, you know.
No.
Once your credit hits 700, you get a
have this
piano.
too,
Damn,
man.
You get a
switched
piano.
Wait, our
Good
credit
job.
doesn't have to look. Our credit doesn't have to hit 700. We're born with an 800.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Oh, you
That's
already
what we
know.
did.
You're
You
right.
already
You're
know.
right. You're right. And we don't say the N word with the A at the end. No, I'm just
Oh,
playing.
no.
That's a joke. That's a joke. That was a joke.
Oh.
That was a
Oh,
joke.
there you go.
That was a joke.
Oh.
That was a joke. That was a joke. Let's relax. That was a joke.
I just want to say that the panelist does not subscribe to whatever Radical
No,
says.
exactly.
His disrespectful ass does
Exactly.
not represent. No, I'm joking.
Exactly. So that was a joke. But anyway, let's get into this article. First of all, let me just ask, when I don't know if you guys saw it now or saw it when I posted it or whatever, but what did you guys think when you guys saw the headline? Anybody could go.
We got a riot. We got to start a riot. Something. What we
It's
gonna do about it?
We got started, right? Okay. Yeah, Jose, what do you think?
We're gonna hold people responsible for these actions. First of all, we gotta hold the police who doing these things responsible. We gotta hold the police chiefs and the people who supposedly trained police. And then, if necessary, maybe we might have to hold some politicians accountable for all this crap.
Yeah. Introvert Boricua, what did you think?
Man, it is unfortunate that this is happening when it comes to us. I mean, it's not like issues of police brutality when it comes to us. It wasn't happening. I can tell you something about the guy that killed George Floyd. He's somebody who actually shot an Hispanic a number of years before that and ended up dying. I mean, a lot of people don't know about that. Now, to be fair, the guy his name was Wayne Reyes, I think it was. To be fair, the guy allegedly had a gun on him, and that's why he ended up getting shot. But the thing is that issues of police brutality, they're not new and skyrocketing. I mean, that this is something that we have to look into and see to what it correlates. Because I mean, are we really behaving differently? Are we really going around and committing more crimes? I mean, because there are some of us that are the bad apples and do things wrong, but are we really committing more crimes? And that's why this is happening to us. I have questions. That's what I'm saying.
I agree with that statement. You know already.
Inflation is crazy out here.
We are committing way more crimes than we used to, and this trend started in 2020.
I
That's when
disagree.
this trend started.
Do y'all think that's due to like
You can
inflation and, like, price of
disagree,
rent?
true, but let's keep it real. The
I think.
crime,
Listen,
when we commit
I think it's the same
crimes,
thing.
look, when we commit crimes in this country, we have to understand that we're not even. A lot of our group is just guests or transplants, but there's a lot of uninvited guests. Some that come with the American dream in mind, and some that come with profit by crime and contraband. Let's just keep it real, right?
Yeah, I think that's something that we need to talk about. That's true. That's true.
Unfortunately, what happens is that all this sentiment, all this anti-Latino sentiment that has been festering for a minute in this country is going to be expressed in many different ways. One of them being police are not going to be watching us, because think about it. It's the same thing we saw with the quote unquote scary black men propaganda. The public
Mm.
has so much fear for black men that black men are that's what they're branded by. They're scary. So now Latinos, we're all cartel members. So when you have a police officer stop you or you're doing something fishy or something that can be perceived as shady, we have to understand. I'm not trying to be on this propaganda stuff, but if you're not willing to put your life at risk and mitigate crime like cops do, you really will never understand how it is to go to work and fear for your life every time you do it. So when you do these things, you don't know if you're dealing with a regular Latino or you're dealing with the ones that you see in the news. And let's keep it real.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff. Look at the state of Mexico. Look at the state of Central America, Honduras. Look at what Bukele had to do with
Yeah,
El Salvador. Come
they
on
had
now.
to make it a state of emergency and just I covered
It's
it. I covered it.
crazy.
Yeah.
And
No, I covered it.
when people start with like, no, that's not true, then he's like 18 letters saying, Rakim, you can't black explain Latinidad to me and Latin crime. I'm stating facts. We're committing more crimes. This is
Yeah,
a factual thing.
Now let me ask. Wait. Let me ask. Yeah. Go ahead. Ask the question.
So I think that, do you think that all communities, so since inflation's gone up, poverty's gone up, since nobody can afford rent, nobody can afford anything no more. So do y'all think that, like, I think all communities are going to be dealing with more crime because they can't afford anything. You know, the black community is going to be hit hard, Latino community is going to be hit hard. So it's like, we're all going to be dealing with more crime. So therefore probably more rates of police brutality. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all got to figure something out.
Right, and I would
we all
ask,
gotta
like, where's this taking place? Like, what, like, specific cities is this taking place? Is it in like just random towns,
Right.
or is it like impoverished communities? Because we could be say that like with everybody. Like over here, there was a shooting where I think a young Puerto Rican kid in Bridgeport, Connecticut, a few years back, and there was a protest on that. I think the family did get some money out of that. And then I've heard like people tell me like in the Springfield, Chicopee area has a large Puerto Rican population. They tell me about I used to work in Springfield, Mass, and they tell me about the racism with the police because a lot of these towns, and you know, it's probably the same thing in New York. They could have a diverse town or city that's surrounded by like white towns where the police officers are kind of like, our people in those systems, like the court and everything, are white. So there is a lot of racism going on. But I would say like in the inner cities in Connecticut, for the most part, the police are made up of like black, white, and Latino police officers. So it's a tough situation because if you're in a crime, ridden community, and like Denisse was saying, it's a very hard job, and a lot of people do have weapons. So is it a situation, like, I haven't read this article, so I don't know the context, but I'm saying, like, is it a situation where it's like the police show up, shots are fired both ways, and then the police end up, killing somebody that happens to be Latino, or is it just across the board? It's up,
Look,
I don't think it's
I live
anything.
in.
I
Oh,
think
go
it's
ahead,
the same thing. I think it's the same thing that's been happening all along. The only difference is that the media is paying more attention to this particular demographic for a change, whereas in the past they tended to ignore it. I mean, growing up in the Bronx, I saw Latinos getting shot down by the police, wrongfully, just as much as African Americans, but the news media didn't hype it up the same way.
You're right, and that's the reason why I said in the beginning of this live that it's black trauma. The news likes to perpetrate black trauma because it sells, but doesn't like to even talk about our trauma or whatever the case is because it doesn't sell.
I mean,
like the
social media can be very misleading because it's all a matter of what they decide to put the focus on. So, okay, so for example, child molestation in the clergy, in the church.
Wait. You got to be very careful with that word. Just relax.
Okay, child grape. Like grape juice.
There you go.
By those men in dresses that aren't drag queens.
You made your point. Go ahead.
Okay. So, like at first, they only focused on the Catholic Church. So everybody thought, oh, this is a Catholic thing and this is something new. Come to find out that this has been going on for hundreds of years. It's just that people didn't talk about it.
Yeah.
And so now we thought, oh, look at those Catholics. This is what they do, blah, 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 blah. Then we start hearing that the same thing is happening in other denominations, in other religions. So what's the deal? You know, like, oh my God, all of a sudden this. And no, it's not any that all of a sudden this is happening. It's just that the media chooses, they pick and choose what they want to focus on, and they give a skewed perspective of what's going on in the society. So
let me pause you right there because I got Evil Dork over here. What's going on, guy? Yo.
Oh, hey, thanks for letting me on the show, brother. Your channel for a long time, and you know, I don't agree with everything you say, but you do make a lot of solid points.
It's fine. It's fine.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you. It's fine. We don't have to agree. It's okay. What do you feel about the topic? Hello?
I don't know what to say. I feel like, I think that we are being painted in a bad light. I think that there's some truth to what Denisse says, but you know, the vast majority of Hispanics I know, we're not criminals. We're not drug lords. I just think I think the police are racist, honestly. I'm not like a liberal, but that's my opinion.
Gotcha. Do you think that the media likes to paint black trauma a lot more than anything else?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, cool. At least we're coming to the consensus of that. Yeah. I heard you.
What's up with that picture that you got up there though?
The what? The guy?
It's from a video.
I seen the video, but why did you choose that picture?
What's the video? I don't know. What's the video?
I'm interested to know why you chose that pic.
What's the video? What is it?
It's a video where a black dude gets beat up by this like white guy at like a gas station or something.
Okay, it is what it is. Somebody got beat up. Who cares? You know, like that's like all right, cool. But anyway,
it was a video that a lot of white people were proud of, though.
Oh, that's what it was.
Look at this punk. Yeah, you know that's what you get. You know what I mean?
Yeah, whatever. I'm not. It is what it is. I'm not even gonna get into that. Like, let's just focus on this shit real quick. So anyway, it says the rate of I hate that word Hispanic. The rate of Hispanics killed by law enforcement officers jumped nearly 45% in the last decade, according to the newly released data reviewed by Axios. So, right there, 45%. Goddamn! All right, that tells us something. That tells us something huge, right? The big picture. It's been 3 years since George Floyd was murdered by Minneapolis police, resulting in a worldwide racial, a lot of people would say racial, riots, racial anarchy. I don't know. It's up to you guys if you guys are going to say it like that. Well, protests against police brutality, but little data exists on how police violence affects Latinos, which I always been saying from the jump. From just reading this real quick, what do you guys think?
Like you said, it's been going on, right? So it's like this is nothing new. It's just people are just finally starting to spread awareness about it. I think they need to spread awareness about it. Like this is serious. Like
I think this if you look at this type of you have to dissect media and journalism today because there's an overwhelming amount of media that's targeted just to get people pissed off. This is the type of argument that you have to dissect. It's the same thing that you would do with any SMM, which is mainstream media outlet. You have to be able to dissect and discern things in a better light. Like we know that not all Latinos are criminal, but for example, I live here in California, in Los Angeles, and I can tell you that this looks more like Ciudad de Mexico than it did when I first moved here when it comes to crime. People are following you home and assaulting you. And when you see the faces, what are those? Latinos. Latino cops are getting killed here in plain daylight. Who are killing them? Latinos. We are committing more crimes, people. We need to admit the truth. There was a time in history where the Latinos that will come here with the dreams of making the lives better for their legacy, of putting ahead their children and the children of their children. That was the past. The Latinos that are coming here today are not the best Latinos. I think I agree with Donald Trump when he said that. The good and I'm so people
I
hated
know
me
you were
for
gonna
that.
bring that up. I
People,
knew it.
people
Yeah, it's
hated
all
me
good.
when I supported him 2016. But let's just keep it real.
Yeah.
The good quality Latinos have no business coming into this shithole. Trust me when I tell you that if you go to our countries, the good quality Latinos are building our stuff. Give it 20 years, Latin America is gonna come out top. I'm
Are you
telling
saying
you.
wait, are you saying that pretty soon we're gonna be 18% of the population but commit 60? I'm just playing. No,
No,
but no,
I mean, if you
No.
think about it, look. The Latinos that are coming here now are
Uh-huh.
coming here just to make money and go out of the country, either where it's contraband let's just keep it real. And let me tell you something even more. This is not new. Many Americans will not know this, but if you grew up in Latin America, you know that in the 90s and the 80s, the problem was the Colombians. That was the problem that
That's
America
true
had.
in Florida, and then
They
it went to
had that problem
California
with
and
the
all that. Yeah.
Colombians, and it was the matter that you cannot make a money order today over $1,000. You know who caused that? The Colombians. Look it up. I'm not making this up.
Well,
Thanks to the Colombians,
Um,
because that's how they used to traffic their money back to the
the
cartels in
Medellin,
Medellin and
Medellin, yeah.
Cali. So that was the
Shout out
problem
to
back
Griselda
then.
Blanco. Shout out to her.
So if you think about it, back then the DA could easily send people to
yeah.
Latin countries and obliterate the contraband operations by
I,
committing
let,
terrorist
let me
acts
let
over
me
there.
let me ask the panel. Anybody agrees with what Denise is saying, or does anybody want to like answer back to what
well,
Denise is saying?
I
well,
agree. I
first
agree.
of all, okay. First of all, I would like to know the sources of the information.
Mm.
It's not like Denise, I'm not trusting you. It's just that
No, I know.
I like to read the information for myself.
You should
No
look
offense.
up.
But
You should
Jose,
look
haven't you
up.
heard? We don't have our fathers around. That's the reason why we're doing.
Ah,
No.
that's another factor,
That
though.
is
But
a
let's
factor.
just keep it real. Multi
Our
generational fatherlessness causes
some of our
crime.
family. No, you're right. Some of our family.
Look,
It's not the best. It's not the best. But
so
this is something that we got to be real about. So
this
go
is
ahead.
this is something our countries are trying to reap some of the money that was taken away, some of the wealth that was transferred in such a high amount. People don't realize. Look, I'm gonna try to minimize this so I'm not long-winded, right? But 2020 was such a dramatic transfer of wealth in such a short amount of time that people are now starting to realize what was stolen from them. And you think that that's only felt in America. If you are struggling as an American, Latin Americans have it even worse. Many of them, for example, Mexico being one of those countries, because a lot of the jobs that Mexicans have in order for them to provide for their families are outsourced jobs that America transferred from China to Mexico now. So that's like around almost $500 billion we put into Mexican labor every year, something like that.
Yeah.
I have a question.
So,
Oh, sorry.
yeah, go ahead.
So my question is, so since we know that, the media has been ignoring this issue, do you feel like the police would see that and feel like they won't be held accountable and abuse their power against the Latino community? Even though, yeah, there is a lot of crime. I understand that, but do you feel like they would probably go in and abuse their power in those situations because they feel like they
I
can get
don't
away with
think
it?
they're abusing their power. I think that we need to remember the human factor in cops. police officers are human beings just like you and me that are trying to make more money for their families.
I got a question for you, Denise. Are you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so is your argument that basically this might be because there's an increase of crime, so a lot of the killings or police shootings are kind of reaction to, like, let's say something is going on, like some type of like a shootout, or they're responding to something, and then somebody gets killed? Is that like what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, it's basically like, okay, we're committing more crimes. The media reports those crimes even further. The crimes that, since the marijuana business was swept from Mexicans and Central Americans, now they're resorting to human trafficking to compensate, and avocados. So what happens is that the more the media documents on this, the more influence it has on cops, because cops are human beings. So when they go out there, they're already scared about these people. So they're looking at us as targets.
Stereotyping and looking
Right.
Absolutely. We can take away the human factor from cops.
One thing I will say is, first of all, Latinos, we've been, getting money, having our kids go through college and all that other stuff. And here in America, we've been doing wonderful. The last thing I want is for the killings to increase with Latinos. That's the last thing I want, because that's not going to make it look any better. But I got Mike Jones in the building. Mike Jones, what's going on, bro? Yo, Mike. Well, do left. I guess Mike Jones.
Okay,
who?
hold on, real quick. I got one more question.
Go ahead.
So, if it is like a case of like legitimate racism, like I don't know how we would prove that. I don't know, but is there any how we're gonna hold the cops accountable? If there is a case of legitimate like abuse of power and legitimate racism, there has to be something.
Real quick.
I don't think it's racist.
Real quick. Hold on. Just hold that thought.
Okay.
I got Mike Jones. Mike Jones, what's going on? Yo, Mike Jones. Yo.
Yeah, my bad, man. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can. What's up?
What's happening with y'all, man? I just had a question, man. I just trying to dive into it right now. How everybody doing?
He's gone.
What's going on? What's up?
I can't call it, man. So I want to ask a question, because when we have this conversation, usually with my people, it seems to be like a cultural thing. So is it now an Hispanic cultural issue?
I never said it was a cultural thing with black folks.
I'm not talking about you in particular.
Yeah. I don't know. I really don't know. It seems like now we become the largest target. I really don't know. I don't know what kind of culture is gonna let bullets fly into Latino.
Okay. So I got a two-part. Do you think it may be a possibility because of the white supremacist Latinos in the police force that y'all having this issue? Yeah, Latinos like in Cali and all that, they join the white supremacy and all that.
Well, based on this.
Well, those are pawns. Are pawns. They could never be on the same position.
I mean, come on, presidents are pawns.
Wait, hold on. Based on this, some of the largest numbers is happening in New Mexico, Colorado. What else? New Mexico and Colorado, Washington State, and that's the biggest numbers that's happening, but it is happening. So I don't know if it's.
If it was a culture, if you just have to hypothetically think about it, right? Because it's kind of easy to talk about us because we're the oldest people here on this land. But if you had to say it was a cultural issue, you think it's an adaptation to like the redneck culture? Or what?
Hold on.
I wouldn't.
Wait, can I just go back to my question real fast?
Go ahead.
I just want to know: is there any like systems or organizations in place for the Latino community if they do deal with legit cases of like racism and abuse of power?
Yeah, it's called DACA. The DACA program.
So they have organizations in place to hold the cops accountable.
Wait. It's not called the DACA program. Don't say things that you don't know nothing about.
Yeah.
It's not called the DACA program. The DACA program is about immigration and getting kids that's immigrants into United States society,
Okay,
and,
so
and,
that's
and,
not
and all that
true.
other, that's
No,
not
but
that.
they have lawyers. They have
I'm
lawyers
So I'm
waiting
too.
for the
saying
comment
they
here
say
Mike
because I'm
Jones,
trying
if
to
you're gonna
see how
come,
this is.
Mike Jones, if you're gonna
It's,
come in, if you're gonna come in here and have an unfaithful argument,
no,
or
no, no. I'm not really trying to. What
then,
I'm trying
No,
to get
I'm
down to the
asking Denise
bottom.
though. I was
don't be
asking
so
Denise
don't
though.
be
I
adding
wanted to
the
ask
doctor
Denise.
All
program.
right, all right. You know what? You're right. This is y'all thing. But I got one last question. The victims of this crime, right? Is it immigrants or is it like citizens, like
It's
Latino
Latinos.
citizens?
Oh,
No, 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 no. Is
oh.
it immigrants or is it
Does it
citizens
matter?
that are
It's
Latino?
all of them. Does
I
it
mean,
matter?
I think it would matter because it would kind of tell you who they're trying to aim at
No,
for
that
your
makes
own
no
people.
sense. That makes no sense if it's immigrants or citizens. It doesn't make no sense.
I mean, if they're trying to do this against illegals and they're trying
All
to
right.
get them out of the country,
Wait, hold up. Was Jordan Neely an immigrant or a citizen?
I don't even know who Jordan Neely is.
Captain
Oh, okay,
Nazario.
George
Was
Floyd.
it? Was it?
Wait, George Floyd, was he an immigrant or citizen?
He's an American.
Does it matter?
It
It
to
doesn't
you
matter,
it should
right?
to
No,
you it should matter.
No, it doesn't matter because he's still dead, right? He still got targeted,
That's
right?
not the
So,
point, though. The point is, are there actual legal Latinos getting killed or illegal Latinos getting killed?
Trayvon Martin, an immigrant or citizen?
It can happen to either.
You know all of this. I know it can happen to either.
Yeah, this is derailing the whole convo.
One
Look,
question.
why y'all getting so sensitive? I'm just trying to ask a very simple question.
Hold on, guys.
You
I
getting kind of
just
sensitive.
have something very.
I'm just asking a real question.
Yeah, but let me answer that. Let me answer that.
Go ahead,
Since
sweetheart.
when Americans really are known to know and differentiate which Latino is legal and which not? Because we Puerto Ricans are still no. Hold on, because I let you talk. I let you talk.
Go ahead.
So
Not
please,
really, but go ahead.
Don't
Go ahead.
overtalk me because I never
Go ahead,
overtalk
hey,
you.
sweetheart. Do your thing.
No,
Go ahead.
don't sweetheart me. My name is Denise.
Oh goodness, whatever it is, go ahead. Respectfully, go ahead. Spit your thing.
Now that he's quiet, let me go back to what I was saying. Puerto Ricans have been citizens since 1919, right? And we're still, till this day, are being treated like we're illegals, right? Non-documented people. So Americans do not know till this day that we are their colony. So how can Americans start illegals if we are all Mexicans to y'all? We're all undocumented. We're all non-citizens.
Who is? Wait a minute. Who is y'all?
So it's irrelevant to ask. At this point, what we're talking about is the targeting of a group of people based on crime. This is why I don't like to bring the concept of race.
No, but
this is why I don't like to.
I think you kind of
bring
wrong
up the
though.
concept. I don't care
When
if you think I'm
when you
wrong.
say
We're talking
y'all,
about,
you kind
are
of
you
talking
Latino?
about how
Are you
kinda-
Latino?
just-
Are you Latino?
Just listen to what I'm saying.
No, are
Listen
you
to what I'm
Latino?
saying.
Are you Latino?
When you say
Yes or no?
y'all, when you saying y'all, you're talking about it from like white people looking at everybody that's a minority.
Ma'am or sir. I don't know who you are.
It's a man. Are you a boy? Because you kind of
I
sound
don't-
racist.
I don't
Calm
know.
your
I
ass
don't know.
down.
I don't know because again.
Wait. I'm kicking him off.
Thank you. Thank you.
Denise,
This
okay,
is
Denise, go
the
back to
Really?
the
problem. This is the problem with
He was
people
something like
like
one
this.
of them FBAs.
Yeah,
This is the Thai
that wasn't
tweeners.
really
This is the Thai-
Yeah, one of them are sheep.
These are the
That must
Thai
have been the sheep.
tweeners. These are the Thai
I don't
tweeners.
need no fucking pro blackity black fake motherfuckers out here. You're ready
Hold
to
on,
vote.
Denise.
We was on this land forever.
Like,
Yeah,
come on,
I want to
man,
know
like-
though. It's a serious question. So, is there any like systems or organizations in
There
place
is,
to hold police accountable?
there are some organizations out here that actually police the borders and police the actions of these
that are
individuals
going to advocate advocate for Latino
who do the
people.
things. Yes, they are. But
Okay,
the thing
that's
is, the thing is that they're only very, very isolated. There's literally like 3 in New Mexico. There's 1 in California, and the last time I checked, in Arizona, it's becoming of a larger demographic. But there are people out there that are looking out for Latinos and stuff like that. Now, based on these numbers right now, I have no idea like how come this is actually happening. Based on this article right here, it looks like the reason why is happening is because it's become a certain. It says certain research examined majority. Wait, hold on. Yeah, somebody dying. What's going on? I'm hearing people gasping for air and shit. Anyway, okay. Well, I don't know. So it basically says that the CDC made this whole thing, this stat, and found out that most Hispanic residents in the U.S. 1.02 per 100,000 residents in New Mexico were actually killed twice more in the rate than any other state. So New Mexico is like pretty much leading the charge on the rates of Latinos being killed.
Has people seen how the people of New Mexico live? Like, let me ask you something. To all of us here on the panel and the people on the chat, would you move and live at a border town?
Hell no.
That's why I was asking what the context was.
It's your people. But let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
First of all, it's poor as hell. It's wild dangerous.
What? No, it's not poor. No, it's not poor.
Yes,
I can show you proof. Literally proof, factual proof that is not poor cities on the border towns.
Uvalde, Texas is poor as shit, bro.
Dude, the border towns in Texas are not poor, are just deserted, but their houses are high quality and they're super clean. Now, my question is, would you move? If you won't move to a border town, because this is the reality as Latinos we have to admit, and I know it's painful, but it's true. We won't move to a border town that it's neighbors to our people from our collective because we know that we most likely will be brutalized by somebody that looks like us, right?
It'd be your own people.
Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. Why?
Briefly, please.
Go ahead, Jose.
Go ahead.
If I can just chime in, please.
Go ahead, bro.
First of all, it's not a question about that. If I'm going to move, I'm going to move in an area where I have family. Okay, whether it be here in New York, whether it be or in Bridgeport or what have you. Because why? Because I'll have a support system. Okay. The problem is when I go to an area, any area without family there, I'm basically on my own. So it's not a question of whether a place is a border town or not a border town. I would rather be close to family. That's just me. That with the people in the panel, that might be something else.
Gotcha.
So what is the main factor?
I think that
real quick, because I want to talk to Ivador. Ivador, what you think about this whole thing? You got any thoughts? Because you've been like really quiet. I want everybody to talk. That's why you're muted, by the way, so you can unmute yourself. Yep. Yeah. You got any thoughts on this?
I'm back. My phone's glitchy. I'm gonna have to get a new one. But yeah, I was saying that there was a Hispanic rights thing going on in Texas because that's where I'm from. I live in the Texas area, and yeah, I think Denisse is right about a lot of things except for the border town thing. I personally don't have no problems living there. I think the whole, border towns being dangerous is kind of exaggerated.
Really?
I don't want to. Really? Yeah, I don't think anyone deserves to die. But as far as the border towns, most of the dead people, they were involved in grimy shit. So as long as you're not doing anything, for the most part, nothing will happen to you.
That's true.
That's what I'm saying. You prove my point even further. But look, you prove my point even further. You guys answer the question about the border town as hell no, because media has also played a role in how we see the border between Mexico and the United States of America. We see our people as criminals. So if we're asking cops to not persecute us more because we're not quote unquote dangerous, how can we demand that from human beings that tackle crime day in, day out when we're not even able to live next to our people in fear of them brutalizing us?
Well, let me say
that's kind of hypocrisy. That's just the way I see it.
Let Anthony say something.
What's up? You said you lazy. Denise made a
A
good
lot
point.
of us are politically lazy. That's what I think.
Hold up, man. Denise made a good point about the media because I seen something on YouTube. There was actually people who lived by the border, and this is why I said hell no. And they were saying how they would have people jumping over the fence into their backyard. It's like a regular occurrence, or you'll just see people walking through like the neighborhood when you know they're not from there. So to me, that's dangerous. You know what I mean? Like people falling in your backyard, jumping over fences. Like that's why I said that, because I did see that people talking about that live on those border towns.
Yeah.
Hey, I would move there if it's cheap. I can afford rent. I'd move there.
Okay, right.
Because I don't really view Latinos as criminals like that. Honestly, I see them as like, the stereotype of like being hardworking and being about family. Like that's kind of how I view Latinos.
Yeah.
So I don't really view them as like criminals like that. I know that is like a stereotype of like the cartel, but I don't think that's the main popular. Like there's always extremists, there's always criminals in every community.
I think what Denise is trying to say, like we also have to be real. There is the criminal class in our community. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, that's everywhere though. That's everybody.
Yeah. So
especially people of color.
But mostly Latinos were hardworking people. We're family oriented. You know what I'm saying? But we also got our little riffraffs. You know what I mean?
I mean,
you can't go off media because we know how media paints black people in a bad light. But if you get to know a lot of black people, they're just regular, everyday, hardworking people. So it's like the same thing with even though there is a lot of crime in our communities, in the black community too. So same thing with Latino community. And it's like, I do think there is an element of police do abuse their power because they are human beings.
Yeah,
human beings abuse power. So I do think that's the element, and they do need to be held accountable when that does take place. So y'all need to have like systems in place and organizations.
I got Rakim in the building. Rakim, what's going on? Thank you for coming in. What are your thoughts on this whole thing?
Thanks for having me, Rad. Shout out to everybody on the panel. Shout out to Anthony. I heard that comment you said, but we'll say that for another day. Well, one thing I wanted to, and shout out to my boy Ramon, because my boy Ramon knows about this all too well. And like as far as with what's going on in the Latin community, as far as being targeted by the media or, people that are looking to victimize the Latin community, it was one element you left out, Rad, that they got to be very aware of, because it's the same thing that happened with the black community. Beware of the sellout Latino politician down the line that'll be willing to sell out the Latin people for their own personal gain.
Some of our politicians be fucked up. You're right. Okay.
And so just beware of those, because they'll put a mask on like they're looking to do.
No lie.
Yeah, because
AOC is messing shit up. I'm just saying. You're right. You're right.
I don't agree with how the black community responded to police brutality. I don't agree with like defunding the police. I don't think that was the answer. I think that was not a good response. So it's like we got to figure something else out to hold people, because we need the police. Like, I'm not anti-police or nothing, but it's like we need to make sure the police get held accountable for their actions, but also they're doing a good job in the community and actually solving crime and fighting crime.
But okay, this is the thing. This is
excuse me, everybody. Can I finish talking?
Go ahead.
Give me a chance to finish.
My fault.
But first and foremost, like, this is something that's been going on in the Latin community for quite some time. It's actually a documentary. Could somebody please mute up? It sounds like somebody being strangled or something.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. It's a documentary right now that's what the hell is that? All right. It's documentaries online that show, police brutality as far as, what going on in the Latin community. I've actually seen videos here in my city where you've actually had police that's taking members like of certain young Latino boys and dropping them off in rival gang territories to scare them and different things like that. That's abuse. And when you have police, you're going to have police that are going to be looking to abuse their power, because whatever's going on in their personal lives, having that authority makes them feel adequate. It's the same thing that happened in the black community. They're going to use that power to assert themselves over certain people within that community to make themselves feel more dominant, because the police is nobody's friend. The police is here to actually be the long arm of the rich. They're not, for any community. It's good to have people that look like you within the police force, but in some cases with that, they end up being worse because they think they can get away we're doing
That's
more because they do look like.
true. That's so
Yeah,
true.
they
The
have
black
a
cops,
supervisor to
they be the
impress.
worst.
Yeah, they have.
I
They
give you
usually
the
have a
perfect. I give you the
superior that
perfect
they're trying
example.
that they're trying to
Yeah.
impress, and they're trying, because the whole thing with police departments, there is kind of like a point system, and about who gets the most scores with the different
They got a
arrests,
quota.
and then there is a quota. There is a
Yeah.
quota involved, and whatever race
Absolutely.
the police officer is, they have to do a lot of quotas, give out a bunch of tickets, and that's how they get
And
promoted.
they're gonna
And
and they're
that's
Do you
what
gonna
think
happens
we
for
need
all of them.
to?
gonna
Do they
do
have
that, and they're gonna do
for-profit
that,
prisons out there in
and
California
they're
and
gonna
stuff?
do
Like
that,
where do they have
and
Yeah,
they're
for-profit
they
gonna
do.
do that
prisons?
because they're gonna do that because what they're gonna do, they're gonna write all of those tickets to people that look like them because they're not gonna get reprimanded, or there's not gonna be any problems when they're doing it for people that look like them.
Damn.
Like Ice Cube said on after police. And don't let it be a black or a white one because they'll slam you down to the street top. Black police showing out for the white cop. So that's something
That's
that
so true.
needs to be,
Yeah.
that's something that needs to be understood. It was a young Puerto Rican man here in my city who was, talking about police brutality back in the day in the 80s and the 90s in the Puerto Rican community, where this police officer, and everybody know about the 90s, they carry those big wooden nightsticks and they carry those metal flashlights back in the day. This actually police officer smacked him in the face with a metal flashlight, cracked his whole, like the right side of his eye, messed up his eye and everything. So that's something that people need to pay attention to. It's going to be a lot of people down the line that's going to say that they're for the Latin community, or the Latin politicians are just going to be trying to make sure that their pockets are taken care of behind the scenes.
Yeah,
So
and I think
that's all.
you guys are both right because I think criminals need to be held accountable because there's always going to be criminals, and the police need to be held accountable. It needs to be accountability on both sides. Like, you know what I'm saying?
But when we say this is my problem with this whole thing, right? I disagree with this like 100%. Do I think there's certain things that cops do that are bad? Absolutely. I mean, there's bad employees where we work, right? Now, one thing that I think we've been indoctrinated into thinking that there's such a thing as a utopia when cops do their jobs fighting crime and no one gets killed. It's called collateral damage. Like, it's going to happen. Every job has that. Normal jobs have people that get injured and killed. Constructions for stadiums get people killed. That's a collateral damage. So when people say hold cops accountable, how are we going to hold cops? And I would like to hear suggestions about how are we going to keep holding cops accountable while also providing them the ability to perform their duties, keeping us safe. Because it seems that since we started persecuting the police, we're getting more and more crime. We're getting more people stabbed, more people robbed.
I agree. I agree with you, Denise. The way I see it is, we have to be real. If we see a police officer harming a Latino who is unarmed, I believe, first of all, I believe all cops should have their weapons insured, right? Once you use it, you got to register that, go to insurance, I used it and all that other stuff, and their quota goes up. Their insurance quota goes up every month if they use it. So
who should pay for that insurance?
The cops. The cops.
That's not viable, Radical.
The cops. No, but listen. You pay insurance for your car. Best believe they give you good benefits if you don't go into a car crash. So you drive extra careful. Best believe you'll be thinking. It's true. You'll be thinking.
Okay,
twice.
let me ask you. Let me ask you something.
Twice. You'll be thinking twice. A cop will be thinking twice if he's insured his gun. When it goes off, that's it. You got to register into insurance and you got to figure out what's going on. If they find out that you use it unlawfully, you should pay. Part of your pension should get doctored. And
How can you prove
body cams?
Oh my God! How can we prove a cop uses a gun unlawfully when the majority of times a cop shoots, it's under the suspicion of a crime being committed? I say majority, not all the time, right? But the majority of the times when they shoot majority of cops go throughout their career without ever shooting their weapon. I want people to understand that. So when we say things like cops are just this trigger happy people,
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying to prevent that, way
Yeah,
more
but let's
training,
let's
way more,
paint this
way more
scenario.
training, and
Let's paint this scenario.
insure your gun.
Let's
And
paint
if
this
it-
scenario.
that's it. Go
Let's
ahead. Go
paint
ahead.
this scenario. We have that insurance implemented, and a
Uh-huh.
cop can either save your life by shooting into a person that has holding you hostage, but there is a chance that you might get slightly injured in the process. But if he doesn't take that shot, you will get killed.
You're
But
going to
that
the
cop, hold on,
extreme,
hold
man.
on, hold
Go
on.
ahead.
That
Okay.
cop, hold on. That cop has 3 children at home,
Yeah.
and he cannot afford to go up on his quota. So, do you think he'll save you, or you think he'll let you die?
Well, that's not part of the quota. The quota is no.
Did you hear that?
I'm just saying. I said it clearly. Part of the quota should be if you use it unlawfully, your insurance is gonna go up. That's all I'm saying. Unlawfully, you painted a scenario where he has to use his gun. Of course, I'll move my head out the way so he could get that headshot. You know what I'm saying?
I think what we're asking from cops is 100% impossible. What we're gonna look.
Also, you're right, because what we are asking for cops, let's be honest, they're like the world's a security guard. They literally, we asked them to do everything. And I get it. They're not equipped to do everything, and I understand. But I believe at least they should get a little bit more training when it comes to that. That's all I'm saying.
But what training can we give cops to not be scared for their lives when they go out there to deal with the criminal people that makes us also scared? Because the only difference between a civilian and a law enforcement agent is that he receives some form of training and he has a badge in a government issued gun.
Yeah,
that's the only
That's a good
difference.
point.
They still get scared because we're all scared about crime.
You're right.
Everybody's
people have
scared.
any issue with
Everybody's
people.
scared about their lives.
Yeah,
I
but
don't think anybody has any
the
issue
cops-
with the cops fighting the bad guys, right? But it's when they're beating up, helpless people, like with the case with the Memphis thing, like 5 guys against 1, like that's the issue. So I agree with you, Denisse. I think cops, I don't think we need to hold them to that standard. I want people to be afraid of cops because at the end of the day, crime is getting worse.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want people to think they could just walk over the police.
And
And I
I-
even say
I-
it too. Like, if I was a cop, man, I'll be slamming some of these dudes.
No,
man.
you're right. And the thing is, some of
Yeah.
these democratic cities have these democratic laws where they're taking criminals out and all that.
Yeah,
because
yeah,
of
nah.
COVID and you did enough of your time. No. There's a reason why they were there, and there's a reason why
Yeah.
crime is going up. It's insane. There was a situation in the Bronx where I think around 2020 or 2021, when all the prisoners was getting out, I think for minor crimes or whatever, one prisoner got his crime, like I think misdiagnosed or misregistered or whatever the case is, and it put him under the misdemeanor class, when in reality he should have been part of the felon because he raped 2 people. And guess what ended up happening? 30 minutes later he raped again. So the thing is insane. Of course, police need to do their job, and these democratic cities are being too like super woke to actually do their thing. Like, come on now, it's not racism that it's not racism that stop. No, cops need to do their job. That's it.
Yes.
And I'm not saying that regular people should be afraid, but I mean
just don't abuse your
criminals
power.
should be.
That's it.
Criminals
Yeah.
should be afraid of the police. You know what I mean? They should be like, oh, I don't want to do that because
Yeah,
that
just
dude
don't
right
abuse
there.
your power. That's all it is.
Yeah.
That's it. If you see a bad guy, abuse away.
But when we
Yeah.
say this is the thing.
They still have rights. Even a suspect
No, I feel you.
can
No, I feel you. I
can
feel
sue
you.
a city for police
No, I
brutality.
feel you.
I mean,
I feel what you're saying. But
how do
come on, let's be honest, guys. Because I see
Okay.
what Denisse is saying, but let's be honest. At night,
Brad,
we're all racist.
Brad,
Let's
let
be
me ask you
honest.
something. Brad.
Oh.
If I'm a police officer, right, and I see your Latino ass with your little t-shirt and your
my
jackets
tats,
and all
my
your
tats and all
tattoos.
that.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
how is a cop supposed to know you're not?
Oh, wait. In this scenario,
well,
you're a cop.
they take his
Hold on.
information and runs.
Wait.
And
In this scenario,
on.
you're a cop. You're a cop.
No,
In this
let's
scenario?
say I'm a cop, right?
Okay.
I'm
Yo,
a Puerto
somebody.
Rican from.
No, let me stop. Let me stop.
I'm a Puerto Rican
Yo, get out of this
from.
neighborhood. Yo, get out
You're
of
gonna
here.
throw
Yo,
up
get
gang
out of here.
signs,
Yo,
right?
And I'm
light skin. Hey, yo, light skin. Get out of here, light skin.
Look, I'm
Yeah.
patrolling, and I'm patrolling down the street, and I'm looking to tackle because we
You got a
know that
quota?
there's an increase
Okay.
of cholos dealing some drugs and stuff, and I see you,
Mm-hmm.
and I see you doing some shady exchange or handshake with someone, and I
Yeah.
want to inquire on that,
Mm-hmm.
right? How am I supposed to know? Because I don't know you. You're a stranger to me. How
Yeah.
am I supposed to know you're not a cholo?
Well, you come at me and be like, "Hello, my good Samaritan. How are you? May I
Oh,
inquire on
stop.
that handshake?" No,
Okay.
let me stop. Let me
What?
stop.
Okay. Okay. Let's say that's how it happens, and I come at you
Yeah.
like that, and I ask you. Let's be honest,
Uh-huh.
and I ask about my inquiry on your suspicious handshake. Would you get
Mhm.
an attitude, or you will answer peacefully and
I will
pleasantly?
run. I'm
Exactly.
out.
And what do you
I'm
think?
running.
What do you think? How do you think that reads to a cop?
That's weird. Maybe his mom is calling them or something.
Oh,
No,
stop.
no. How that would read? No, how that would read to a cop is he's a delinquent, and I just call him doing something. He might have something more on him, and he doesn't want to go to jail. That's what's gonna read to a cop.
Exactly my point.
Yeah, no, I get it.
We're asking
If
the
I can just chime in,
impossible
please.
from cops. fellas.
That's
The
true.
impossible.
Look, so Denise, do you think that the hold on, sorry, the police brutality and the abuse would go down? We just got to focus more on holding the criminals accountable, and we got to focus more
Yeah,
on
we
bringing the
need.
crime rate down. So that's what you think we should focus on more.
Look, you want to know how we solve this problem, which is something that people overlook all the time. But in my opinion, we solve this problem if we solve fatherlessness. We're dealing with record
Yeah.
this topic, multi-generational fatherlessness. That means that for several generations, we have the product of single mom, of a single mom, of a single mom, of a single mom. Okay, there hasn't been a father in that lineage for 2, 3, 4 generations, and that's also happening in the Latin community. So again, crime goes down when there's a father in the picture. That is a proven fact. I'm not making this up. The outcomes of
Wait,
even
I think
father
Jose wanted to say something. Jose,
Go ahead, Jose.
Yeah, I just look when it comes to training. Okay, I'm a municipal employee. Do you know how many times we get training? I mean, it seems like every single week we get training on this, we get training on that. It's the same thing with the police. Okay, all this training, it's all well and good. The problem is it's not having its effect. Believe me. Do you know how many times I've been taught about regarding the alphabet community and how we're supposed to be hyper respectful and what have you. I mean, seriously, this is something that we as municipal employees have to deal with. Never mind just making sure that we do our job and we provide the services that we are supposed to give.
Now, Jose,
And
Jose, let me ask you something. Right?
Yes.
Do you think in this article, right, when they're talking about the rise of Latino life being lost, do you think that at least half of it was unlawful and police kind of went a little bit overboard, and the other half was actually justified because they were criminals? Do you think that could be true, or in your opinion?
It's possible. I think it's possible. And with that, what I'm going to do is if I can just give my closing statement because
Go
I
ahead,
am going to be live in about 18 minutes.
Yeah, I got you. Go ahead.
So I just want to say thank you for allowing me on the platform. I'm going to keep this brief and to the point. The fact of the matter is we got to accept the fact that part of it is going on is because some of us are doing criminal things. But at the same time, there are some police officers who are not performing their jobs properly. So what we need to do is we need to hold the people accountable for their actions and also make sure that when we're dealing with the politicians, that we deal with politicians that's going to address these issues. And with all that, I said my piece under 60 seconds. Thank you very much. I'll see you at another stream.
All right,
Bye,
peace.
Jose.
Now I want to just read something real quick, and then I'm gonna let. I think somebody else is in the back. I'm gonna let that person come in. I'm gonna read something real quick, and then I'm gonna let the panel talk. And I want Denise's opinion on this, but it says more than 50,000 years of potential life amongst Hispanics were lost due to fatally police encounters across all ages. And then it goes down to the bottom. It says during this decade, the Latino population grew by 18.3% year. Yeah, 18.3% year. But wow, the numbers killed by police grew by 61.4%. Denisse, what do you think about this? Do you think again the police is doing their job and it's fatherless homes that are making police take these actions because of criminality?
It is because of criminal. Okay, I don't want to. Of course, there's cases that we can single out in which cops are just blatantly just killing. We've seen cops killing by drive-by.
Wait, Mike Jones was here. He must have left. All right, Mike Jones, come back.
So of course we can take those to the side, right? Because those are like if we use those, that would be like taking strawman arguments. But also, I don't want to use stillman arguments to defend cops. What I'm saying is that we're dealing with a crisis, a social crisis that is being reflected in society, and we know it's fatherlessness because didn't you report it? I reported also on that too, on the little kid that was out there with a weapon. He tossed a weapon and the cops
in Chicago,
like a millisecond. But let's keep it real. Who was out there fighting for her kid and saying stuff? His mom, because he didn't have a dad. You get my point?
And also, to be fair, a lot of Latinos didn't go out there to support.
But that's the thing. A lot of Latinos don't go out there to support because we understand to a degree in many cases that yes, there are cases of abuse, but in cases like this, you should not be in the middle of the night outside of your home playing with a weapon and expect something good to come to you.
Okay, that's true. No, that's
my point.
No, I get you.
I get you. Common sense.
I get you. No, I got you. I got Don Armando in the building. What's going on, bro?
I'm chilling, just being the basic criminal that everybody hates me to be.
Oh God.
Shout out to you, bro.
Because you're not Dominican.
Yeah, according to some hairy Wookiee from Washington Heights.
Hey, you're not yeah. Okay, so what do you think about this whole thing? Do you agree with Denise's take? Do you agree with the article? What are your thoughts?
My thoughts is that I cannot really agree with it because I don't know the statistics. But if you really look at it, I mean, for the scope of Latinidad, there's been a whole bunch of murders which have been affected by the Latino community, which are done by cops, and some of them are rarely prosecuted. So my thing is, for the Latino and African American community, I think that if we're going to get some form of justice, you need to go around and execute these damn cops. That's all I got to say. I don't see why in the United States you got cops that go around, they murder people, they murder innocent people and everything like that, but yet their ass ain't getting executed.
That's right. An eye for an eye. That's basically what you're saying, right? An eye for an eye.
Well, some justice has to be for the families.
I feel what you're saying. I feel what you're saying, and I agree. I agree to that. Hold on. Allegedly, I agree to that. If the situation was done unjustly, so yeah. Shout out.
Shout out to my homie Ray Acosta.
Yeah, that's right. So Denisse, what? So you think? So basically, it's just fatherless homes that you think that we need to fix. How are we going to fix that?
Well, first of all, we have to understand that we have become and one with the degeneracy of European society. That's the number one thing. We have become just as degenerate as the people of this country. It's the same thing that sadly happened to the black community. When they were segregated, they held their values. Once they joined with the whites, what happened? They joined them in the degeneracy. Look at their community today. Look at
Mm,
our community today because we joined the degeneracy.
mm,
So we
mm,
have to come back. And I often say this to people, and I think people are skeptical because I'm an atheist, but I say this to people all the time. You want to fix society, and people that are not raised specifically in a structure, uh, they need to consider any form of religion. It doesn't have to necessarily be Christianity, but it has to be any form of religion or structure that you're
mm.
gonna have to follow because it's costing us a lot. And I hate to sound like Marjorie Taylor Greene because she's absolutely ridiculous.
Mhm.
But this country needs God, man.
Mm,
I mean, it sounds weird, but it to a degree it is true.
mm.
Because
Gotcha.
if you don't have the structure to discipline yourself to do good and to be better, a better version of
Then how
yourself,
can
and to
your
be
community
moral,
be good? Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying.
then you have to admit that you gotta go to church. That you
Gotcha.
gotta submit to that. Because if you cannot, for example, I'm okay believing in science, but I hold myself to a morality standard,
Mm.
to a code. If you don't have that discipline, you have to go get it from the source because you're not qualified to make moral decisions. And that's the root of the problem why Latinos are
Gotcha.
losing their values.
Gotcha. I want Rakim. Rakim came back. Shout out to Rakim.
What up, Rakim?
What?
And shout out to everybody.
Wait. I gotta give Rakim this. Hold on. No, I gotta give him that. I gotta give him
Yeah.
that. Shout out to Rakim. One more time. Rakim, what do you think about this whole thing? Like, I know you were hearing Denise's statements and stuff like that. You came back. So what do you think?
Well, like, it's the same. See, what one thing that a lot of people don't understand is the same tactics that are going to be used on the Latin community that's been used on the black community, except that most people just didn't care because they figure, hey, it ain't my community. It's not really my problem. So a lot of people regurgitate a lot of those same talking points that put out there until it's them. And what's going to happen is I want a lot of people in the Latin community to beware. Is you're going to have in the future, you're going to have your Latin Candace Owens, your Owenses. You're going to have your Latin Thomas Souls and different people like that who is going to be certain people where they're going to put out a narrative to separate people or have people thinking that, okay, in order for me to get ahead, I'm going to have to talk down on my own people or regurgitate false narratives about my own people. And that's going to be definitely used in the future if the Latin community becomes stronger. I mean, when you look at California right now, who fills up the prison systems in California from Corcoran to Pelican Bay to Folsom?
Latinos, right?
It's mostly Hispanic people.
Yeah.
The situation in Arizona of the discrimination and racism that a lot of Hispanics face from as far as people hunting them down at the borders with AR rifles and different things like that. So it's gonna be a growing problem, especially.
Rakim, let me ask you something. And I'm sorry to cut you off. My fault. Let me
So
ask you something. Do you think that the reason this might be happening is because the increase of fatherless homes in the Latino community?
Well, that's part of the plan. If it's an increase in fatherless homes, because when you study my community, they implemented different incentives for the women to be able to break up the black family. And now, when you look at households that's led by single parents, you have boys that have emotional issues, boys that are uncontrollable, don't want to listen, and in a lot of cases, even the parents, don't hold them accountable. It's no discipline, and guess what? Those boys go out and they terrorize everything, and then they go out. And once they go out and terrorize everything, then they become products of the system to keep the prison system, which is owned by private companies, to keep them funneling through, which is nothing but another form of slavery that was implemented in the 13th Amendment. So you take that and you throw in the fact that it's food, that it's poverty, projects, and you gotta design for a catastrophe. So it's a strong possibility if they can get a lot of Latin women on board as far as joining that whole independent thing, or we really don't need Latin men, then that's what's going to be down the pipeline. There's going to be a lot of criminality. It's going to be a lot of broken families. Now I know, of course, the Latin culture doesn't operate like that because the Latin culture is based off the man being the head. But as generations and generations become more distant from whatever their home country is down the line, as far as 3-4 generations go, where they're not no longer visiting the island of Puerto Rico, or they're not really visiting the island of the Dominican Republic, or seeing their family there, or they're not visiting Mexico or Colombia, then it's a strong possibility that's what can happen down the line.
I want to bring Mike Jones back. Brother, try to bring in some good faith arguments. All right, don't just be saying DACA and shit. What are your thoughts on this whole thing? I don't know how long you've been listening.
No, for real though. I wasn't even trying to be funny before, man. I dropped the article in the back for a reason.
What article?
When Denisse, okay, when she said that about like the absent Latino fathers in the community, right?
Yeah.
When I look around in the real world, I don't see that. And they said the same thing about our people. What the brother really, he trying to let y'all boost and let y'all know that y'all just pulling up the shoes that we leaving. We dusting that off. So y'all don't need to fall into the same trap. Like, to me, that's very dangerous what she said, because I don't know if you a father or not, but I know a lot of Latino fathers. They're not too much different than us. They love their family and their kids. They be around even if the woman don't want them around. So y'all got to get that together right now before y'all fall into that same mistake, man. And that statistic, what I put out there was to show you, though, even though they portray us on TV as being like nothing, but if you read the stats, they say we the best fathers around. So don't let that mess y'all up in the long run. That's it, though, man.
All right, Mike Jones, I got a question to ask you.
Yeah.
All right. So, what do you think that, I mean, within social media or in media, right? What do you think that our media needs to do to actually have a good representation of fathers? I mean, in media and in life in general. What's your thoughts about that?
To be honest with you, I think we all need to get off the damn internet and get to business. To be for real with you, I mean, this is for shits and giggles, but to be for real with you, you need to tap in with your people for real. Even when I was talking about like the illegal thing, I want y'all to peep game, man, because they'll try to separate y'all from y'all people, right? You will have somebody that's a Latino that somehow they convinced themselves they was white, and they'll be like, well, he deserved it. Like, well, no, I'm listening to y'all, and y'all love y'all people, but y'all, when asked, would you live next to a border town? They were, hell no. It's like, damn. And that's why they popping them off. A border town is people who jump over the wall, right? So if y'all saying hell no, they definitely saying hell no. So y'all just kind of, I don't know, man. Just peep. When I say we the oldest people over here, y'all can take it how y'all want, man. But we know the game. Like I said, the brother
Can I speak on that real quick, brother?
Yeah.
The thing is, what a lot of people don't understand, our community's been a petri dish for every examination, every cross-examination, every experimentation, any type of psychological warfare. The Black American community has been a petri dish for that. So they've seen how well it works on us. We've been the guinea pigs, and that game is not going to die. It's just going to be played on other people. So as time goes on, if you all become more of a larger minority, and then believe it or not, because we all say that, colorism and racism don't exist in the Latin community or as one people, but it's going to be groups of people within the Latin diaspora that's going to see it as a benefit on aligning with white society, and they're going to turn on their own people. I give you a perfect example in Florida.
Wait, real quick. Just to be fair, based on that statement, you're all right. The Black community wasn't, experimented on a lot more, but we also got our little things too, back in them days. But it wasn't to the extent like you guys were. But that's true. But go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, like when I mean experimented from the medical field to,
Yeah, the same thing happens
yeah,
to us. The medical
to the
field, you know, with Puerto
well, I'm talking
Rico,
like no, yeah,
uh,
no, I know Puerto Rico, but I'm
England,
talking about,
you
but that's what
know.
I'm talking about since slavery. Anything that you have that has to do with anything with birth control,
Yeah, the same
different
thing with
things like
Puerto
that.
That
Rico.
happened in
Oh,
Puerto Rico.
That
Yeah,
happened
that
in
I
Puerto
was
happened with
Rico.
Puerto
told.
Yeah,
Rican
but
women.
That
guys,
If
was
I
Yeah,
can
they
jump
got
in
guys,
though,
trials
because it's the reason why they
birth
have
control
anything to
shots.
do with
that
medical
was
women, anything right now.
Yeah,
yeah.
that
But I got
happened
a
in Puerto
question for
Rico. They
y'all, and then
tested
I'm
it
gonna
on
drop
Puerto
off.
Rican women. Go
But I got a
ahead.
question. So how can we all be taking like individual responsibility? Because I think that when it comes to fatherlessness, like yeah, we gotta all we what are we in control of? Like we gotta make sure like our families stay intact, and that I also think that we gotta understand like resources, like in case like there is a case of abuse, like people gotta be aware of like where can they turn to so they
I mean,
can so
to
that's just all
to be
about like
honest with you, man, I think
individuality.
we gotta take responsibility. A
That's
lot
what
of
I'm
these
saying.
fathers want to be in their kids' life. You know
Hmm.
Yeah,
what I
we gotta
mean?
make
So it's
sure
a
the
reason.
fathers
It's
are
a reason
there.
why these things happen. Men ain't just walking off the set. Even if you get away from his woman, he ain't really leaving his kids like that.
Yeah, and we
You
gotta
know
look
what
at
I
the
mean?
bigger
what?
picture. We gotta make sure,
That's so not
Man,
true.
I'm just talking about on the average. I'm not talking about personal. I'm just talking about on the average. Most men
That
could deal
might
with picking
be
up their
your.
kids, right? And
That
not
might
dealing with the
be.
women.
That
It's just
might
on
be.
average.
That might be from your perspective, but what we're seeing is that every single one of us knows two people, at least one of two people. We know a mom that thinks that she's cool by not letting the dad involved in their kid's life. We all know a person like that, okay? We
Okay,
do.
so let me ask you
From
this
our
question:
group. And
can we
hold
dialogue?
on, please let me finish.
I'm just asking,
And
can
the
we dialogue?
second one is that we also know a man, either a friend or family member, that has abandoned a kid or is not in an active role in that the kid's life. So when we
Okay,
say
cool.
hold people accountable, I think it
Hmm.
needs to start from the point of our family and friends, because we cannot control a community as a whole. We can only control the nucleus of people we gravitate within. So it's
Well, you
time
know
for
what
us to
though?
start. It's
That's
time
not
for
how a
us. Hold
community
on,
works,
please,
though.
can I finish my thought?
Go
So
ahead, though.
so we have to start holding people we know accountable. Hey, you know what? I think you think you're being sassy by not letting the dad
Lee, what's
in,
all
but
this
what you're
sassy?
creating. Please, can you mute yourself when I'm talking? I will appreciate it.
Uh,
So
Good.
you think you're sassy because you're not letting the father see the kids, but what you're doing is that you're creating a criminal. And to the guy, you think you're fly because now I didn't want to deal with the mom, or things didn't work out, or whatever, and you're living your life to come back. But in the meantime, your kid is growing up to be part of the statistics of this country. We have to start telling folks these things, and that needs to be the uniform message so that they understand what's going on, because it might not solve all the problems, but if it can stop at least 10 per, I don't know, 100 people we know, I think that can be a significant shrinkage in crime.
I got you. Are you done? Because I don't want to cut you off.
All right.
Yeah.
No, wait, Don,
Hold on.
Don, stop. Mike, go ahead.
All right, cool. So what I would say is this. I think you got to be fair and balanced when you're talking to like your people, right? Man and woman. You listed off the man being gone and stuff like that. But I'm pretty sure on that same token, you know one or two men who fighting for their kids going broke. And you got mamas who leave the kids with the grandma and have a hot girl summer all over the world and refuse to let the daddy even go see him. So it goes both ways. You got to have a real conversation. Before having these kids, you got to enforce the marriage thing. You got to start building a community, man. This man and woman shit ain't gonna go so far on this internet. If you want a solution, you got to be for real.
Did
All right.
I die and I skip saying that women we know both men and women that are responsible? Did I say that, or I just
No, no,
imagined it?
no, no. That's what you ended with, but you led with. You know what you led with, but we done
Oh,
with
no,
that now.
no.
Next man, next brother, go ahead, do your thing.
Excuse me, brother. But again, this channel is a radical Latino channel.
And
Okay,
you
so
are a radical Latina. Trust me.
excuse me, slow your roll, because I do not know you and you do not know me. Chill the hell out. Take several seats down and let people talk. That's exactly what I said.
Now will
We
you let
don't
the
we
brother
don't go to this
talk?
conver- I don't know how
Okay,
you
we
handle
got you.
yourself.
All right,
We do
go
not
ahead.
do
Hey,
things
hey, Radical. You know what, man? I really ain't fuck with you for a while, man. But look though, since you about building your people up and you kind of see the bullshit, just pump your brakes a little bit, man. You know, get on your purpose, man. But you know, let the other brother talk with the hat, man.
All
Please.
right, but let her finish, and then because I'm
Exactly.
about to start
Thank you.
wrapping stuff up. Go ahead. Go
So
ahead.
yeah, it's like I said, we need to, as Latinos, we need to go back to our old values. That's that notion in the past when the girl used to get pregnant because the boy got her pregnant. And now we're saying, oh, we're walking away from forcing them to marry. No, we have to go back to forcing them to marry. They created a life together, whether they like it or not. That's going to be detrimental to that child. And we need to mature our people, our kids, and our youth back into what the decisions they're making and the consequences of those decisions. And I think that's one main thing that's being lost here is that now we're in this liberation phase that we're copying from the Americans and the British that, oh, no, you don't have to marry anymore if you made a kid. No, now you have to. Now you wanted to play house. That's what's going to happen. We have to bring that back, bring old values back.
Gotcha. I'm gonna start wrapping it up. Mike Jones, I'm gonna give you 2 minutes to finish your statement. Or
No, brother. Hey, no, brother, man. I'd rather pass it on, man. Go ahead, do your thing, man. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Good. Thank you. All right, Rakim, give you 2 minutes. Give me your last statement, and then tell me, give me your last statements in all like 2 minutes. Go ahead. Rakim. Rakim. God damn, everybody leaving. All right, Don Armando, you got 2 minutes, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me on this panel. I discriminate against Wookiees, and that's it.
All right, thanks. Truth. You there? You still there? You still there? You old fuck.
Still here.
Yeah, he's there. All right, you got 2 minutes, bro. Give me your last statement.
I haven't got a lot to say. I still stand by what I said earlier. I don't think it's anything new. It's the same old shit that's been happening, different days, same shit. The only thing is that for whatever reason, the media is choosing to shine a spotlight on it because back in the past, you had Latinos getting killed in the same month with black people, but they just never paid attention to it. So now they're paying attention to it, and it looks like, oh my God, all of a sudden, it's an epidemic. It's going up. Yeah, it's the same shit, different day.
Gotcha.
Criminality ain't been nothing new. Like dysfunctional families ain't nothing new in the Latino community. So it's always been there. It's nothing new.
You gotcha. All right, cool. Thank you very much, Truth, for coming in. Don't be a stranger. Definitely come by. All right, Denisse, the coon is coming out of you in this one.
Look, it can be interpreted like that, but we gotta keep it real.
No, you're right.
Do you want to be? Do you want to be trafficked? Do you feel like being trafficked? Thank you.
Not these little things.
Like this is look. The Latin
You got 2 minutes. Go ahead. You got 2 minutes. Go
The
ahead.
Latin community is one of the most beautiful communities in the world. People can say whatever the hell they want. Our flavor, we're the salt on this bland chicken that the world is. That's who we are. Latinos, literally, there's no one in the world that doesn't know who the hell we are. And we did that with a quarter of what everybody else has. Don't let anybody tell you different. Now, with that being said, if we are to keep who we are, we definitely need to fight against degeneracy. We need to reclaim our family. We need to reclaim our people. We need to reclaim our old values. It might suck that you have a shotgun wedding, but you know what? It is what it is because it's better than just having the society that the Westernians have. So if we want this whole situation about police raids and skyrocketing about, killing Latinos and all this stuff, we need to start looking internally before we become too soft that nobody can talk to us about our own shit. And the first step is to acknowledge crime is rising. Our people are becoming more degenerates. We're sending here to this country the worst. I see it as a positive because we're cleansing Latin America so we can finally go live over there and leave them with the criminal class. That's a good thing. Keep coming over here. Latinos are going to continue to drop like flies, but hang tight, people. Hang tight, my people. One day we'll have enough money and we already buy our casitas back home and we'll just pull
That's
out
right. That's
and
right.
let the Americans
That's
here
what I'm
rock.
doing.
That's the ultimate vengeance.
All right, thank you very much, Denise.
Bye-bye.
One thing I will say, I don't think we're the soul. I think we're the song of this bland country. But okay, anyway, shout out to you, Denise. Yo, Ramon, hey, what's going on, bro?
Yes, man. I didn't have I know that I didn't have much of a chance to say much. That last thing that Denise said, I agree with her 100%. A lot of us should be planning kind of like a plan B
I got
in
my
the
plan
lands
B
that
already
become
ready.
pros.
In Dominican
Being able
Republic.
to go somewhere, have a destination plan for that, invest in that in other places. I think we should definitely do that. Now, two little things quick that I didn't agree with Denise. I mean, unfortunately, I'm having to disagree more with her because she was the one who had the more airtime. The first thing when it comes to the police officers, I disagree with the whole thing that they can't do their job if they are being held accountable at the same time. They can do both. Those things don't conflict with each other. They do their job as professionals, and if there are abuses of authority and power, then they should be held accountable. Those things don't conflict. And so that's the part. That's one thing that I will have to disagree. The other thing that I will have to disagree is the part about necessarily having to have God as an institution that is part of the government, because that's kind of like I got the message that that's what wasn't being implied, that religion should be part of the government. The thing is that at least the United States was never meant to be based on religion, to be anything close to a theocracy. If you look into the Constitution, you don't find the words God or Jesus Christ or even democracy. You don't find those terms nowhere in the Constitution. That was intentional. This country was meant to be secular. It was meant for religion to stay separate from government. If you look at into the very first amendment, it actually talks more about religion, not even freedom of speech. Freedom of speech is mentioned as a clause, but the first amendment talks more as to how to deal with the issue of, not an issue, deal with religion. It's not to be prohibited, but it's not to be part of the government. So that's another thing that I cannot disagree. People should be able to believe in religion if they want, but it shouldn't be part of government. Remember the Pilgrims. The Pilgrims, they were escaping England because of what? Because religion was being used as a tool of persecution towards them. It can happen here too. So, and aside from that, that's all I can think of right now. Rad, thanks for having me on your panel. And
Yeah, not a
I'll
problem.
see you on the next one. And I look forward to the next one, man.
Yeah, not a problem. Not a
Appreciate
problem. Thank you very much. Stay in the back because everybody else is in the back. All right. With that being said, I wish everybody a good night. Thank you for coming in. This was a little promptu stream. Wasn't really planning on doing it, but it is what it is. But I think not tomorrow, but the next tomorrow. Can I say that? The next tomorrow. Anyway, I'm gonna be having another stream, and he's gonna be about mixed people, so having their own community and stuff like that. So definitely tune in for that one. With that being said, I'm gonna catch everybody later. Peace.